Hi guys, my name is Jaishree and I'd like to inform you all with the good news that we're entering September with a big bang of happiness. Why? Because not just me in my personal life, I sense a lot of happiness and a lot of happy news, but a lot of people around me have actually started bombarding me with a lot of happiness. Why happiness is because they can feel it in their lives, and their friends can also feel it in their lives, and most of it is happening because of the pandemic that gave them an opportunity to sit down and think about some past instances that have happened in their life and review it, come out of it with a positive perspective. And guys, regarding the same, we're going to be talking with Ameenah Thobani, who is a fantastic healer and counselor from Toronto, about inner child healing. That is something most of us have taken for granted because we're just like, acha, okay, fine. There's something that's happened in our past, and just because it's very annoying, we don't want to talk about it. But I think we should talk about it, and we should even think about why it was important that happened and what it made us today and what we could have been without that, should that not have happened in our lives. So yes, let's get started. Ameenah, why don't you tell us what is inner child healing?
Inner child is a part of our psyche that has unmet needs, and it's constantly with us all the time. And when you see that everyday triggers that's coming up, that is coming from that part that's needs are not met. And usually I see that pattern coming from very early age.
Wow, thank you. That was a fantastic introduction. Moving on to, how is inner child healing relevant in an adult's daily life?
So how inner child is relevant in our adult life? So we have to go back to the subconscious mind. So whatever experience, whatever things happen when we are growing up, where we are, our brain is not fully developed, where we do understand and come from the point where we can make decision and make things that, okay, this is relevant to me and it's not. Usually it's not there when we are growing up and at we are very young age. So we are just constantly locking those experiences. That's not so pleasant, that's so pleasant, depends at what kind of environment we are living in and what kind of conditioning we are getting. So we are making core beliefs according to that most probably we are dependent on our parents for survival at that time, and of course people around that too. So whatever they're telling us about ourselves, or even if they are not talking to us, but if they are talking to each other about something, we just think that it is there forever, and it's the fact. When we talk about that, how it impacts our adult life, it's the core beliefs are there. So every time when we see that event that already happened, but what is impacting is the interpretation and meaning we attach to it. So maybe the event in the adult life is different, but the interpretation and meaning is very much same. So let's suppose in childhood, if you're an invisible child where you think that you're not important and nobody is paying attention to you, when you grow up and when you are in your office and trying to do the presentation, you still feel that, okay, nobody is listening to me, I'm not important, and I cannot do it because there is no point doing it. Though you are adult, you are well prepared, but still the meaning and interpretation you attach at that time is still impacting on your present day, and that is when you are adult, you are no more a kid.
So how can we heal and repair the inner child?
How we can heal our inner child? There are so many ways to do that. If you're doing that on your own, I would suggest you to do meditation, and in that meditation, go and meet your inner self. When you are a child, take a picture of you in your hand and talk to yourself, and anything that comes up, just reassure that you are the parent of yourself. And what I do the regression therapy for inner child work. I go to the point where the first time that belief has been made, go to the root cause, heal it, release it, and seal it, I would say. Put that empowering belief. So this is the pattern of the mind, that it's in the cycle. So we usually in the therapy interrupt that cycle and connect that to the resources. So anytime you're thinking something, and if you interrupt that thought, you're doing the same thing. You are stopping that. So that's how we heal inner child, with therapies, with compassion, with love. And once we do that, we have love for ourselves and we put priority on ourselves. So that is very important to heal the inner child, so it will not impact our adult life.
Now that brings me to wonder, why is it important to heal the inner child? Most of us have been wondering.
It is very important to heal our inner child. That's the traumas that are there, and that's impacting our adult life. So I had a story that one of my clients, who is now 50 years old, and when he came to me, he came for an anxiety and the constant feeling that he does not belong. So when we were doing that regression therapy, in that he came up with the scene that he's in his mother's home and parents are talking that there's no place to go, and it was a time there was a war and they were displaced because of that, and the worry of the parents that where they will go, there is no space and we don't belong wherever we will go. So that belief, that was not that child's belief or the fetus belief, it was the belief of the parents that in the womb that person picked. And he grew up with that limitation and anxiety because he constantly felt that core belief that is coming every time he wants to feel that belonging in the office. He could not express himself, he could not feel that connection because the deep down thing is that we don't belong, I don't belong, and there is no place for us. So that's why it is very important. Unfortunately, when we work and we release those beliefs and put that empowering belief. Now recently I received a very powerful testimonial from that person, and he wonderfully explained that how beautiful his life is now without that limitation, without that block, and he's living his life fully. So it is very important that we pay attention. What is those things that is stopping us, that makes us feel that we are limited, we don't belong? Because that's the first thing that our need is as a human, that we need connection and we do need belonging.
This brings us to our final question with Ameenah. What motivated you to learn inner child healing, and how has it transformed your life?
What motivates me to do inner child work was basically my own childhood. When I realized that there are so many blocks in my childhood, but that happened when I was grown up, for sure. And as a child, I was very sensitive, highly sensitive and gifted. And I did not get that nourishment which I needed as a gifted or highly sensitive child. So I had a lot of traumas because usually children does not process the information like adults do, and for an adult it is not a big deal, but for a child it is. So when I had a lot of traumas and it was impacting my life, in my relationship, and everything was just getting impacted because I was a people pleaser, and again I was coming from the place where I feel that I don't belong, and I was looking for those connections. And yes, I did experience a lot of bad connections just because I was needy to make connection. But when I learned about inner child work, and when I did it on myself, and I learned then it actually gave me an understanding that, oh my God, I mean, how each and every step we take, all those beliefs play a major role in our adult life. And because that psyche is still there, where there's unmet needs, until we don't fulfill that, we are still in that cycles. So yeah, this is how I started with my work, and how it transformed my life. Of course, I feel that I can fly. I don't have any limitation, because it's your mind who puts limitations. Initially, there are people who put limitation, and at the point come where our beliefs are so stronger, it's us. So there is no outside force, then it's us. It's our mind that decides that if the pattern is positive, we are doing everything which we want in our life, and if it's a negative, we end up getting sick. So this is how I transformed my life. That I was asthmatic and on medication for the longest time. I don't do anymore, and I don't have any asthma, because that was all the blocked emotions, that was all the trauma where I was feeling suffocated, and that's why I was asthmatic. As a highly sensitive child, when my needs were not met, I was feeling I cannot breathe, and asthma was a physical form. So I cured myself, I healed myself, and I healed so many relations. I learned how to create healthy boundaries. I don't hate people, I just put myself in a fence. So boundaries are not to push people away, it's just to fence you in. Thank you.
It was lovely having you with us, Ameenah, here at Prism. I am super glad, and for those of you who are so excited to know more about this, would like to book a session with Ameenah Thobani and work on your inner child or some instance that has happened in your past, then you can always get in touch with her via the contact details given below in the bio, or you could just click here anywhere. Just don't click here, just enter this online and you will find her. It's super easy. And before we say bye bye guys, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment regarding your feedback, and stay in touch with us. Let us know what more you'd like to see, and we will bring that to you at our best at Prism. Take care, bye, lots of love and light.